Hey guys, it's Iron Gone, and we are back playing Pillars of Eternity. Are you tired of this yet? You shouldn't be, because this is an amazing game, and I love it, and I know you guys love it too. So, I hope you guys are enjoying the face cam. This is all one recording. The last several episodes have been just me chilling out and seeing what the hell this game's all about. So last episode we killed a bear, and we found out that Pearly was killed by his friend. So we went back to obtain some vengeance, but we found out that Pearly had been abusing his wife and Pearly's friend decided to hook up and figured out how to get rid of him. So we let him go, got a bunch of experience, and a cool new ring. So, a couple episodes back, we had a dream about this lady that's hanging here by the tree. So we're going to go say hi to her to make sure she's really dead. So let's wander over here. The squat, distended body of an elderly dwarf woman dangles from a thin, crooked bough that sags at the tug of her noose. The bloated purple flesh of her neck, worn away in patches like moth-eaten linen, bulges over the rope that suspends her, and her lifeless head lolls forward rigidly from one side to the other when the breeze shifts. You perceive a faint glow around her that casts no light on its surroundings, but there is a tepid warmth to it, and you feel somehow that you could reach out and touch it, not with your hands, but with some aspect of yourself that is no worldly dimension. We experienced this in the cave. We're going to interact with her soul. We're like a soul reaper. Also, man, hanging has got to be one of the worst ways to go. Though I've heard, if you were lucky, your neck would break when you fell, and that would be the quickest way. So, hopefully. You take a deep breath, clearing your mind, focusing on your objective. As you exhale, you feel yourself spreading out towards the hanging woman, perceiving all that lies between you and her with new, unfamiliar awareness. Once you've expanded enough to reach her, there's a sudden jolt to your mind, a ringing electric surge of images and words and sounds. Involuntarily, you shut your eyes and you feel yourself being pulled down to some deeper consciousness in a space occupied only by you and the hanging woman. And when you open them again, she is staring at you with eyes clouded in a milky fog, and her body still swaying in a wind you no longer feel from a tree that stands planted in a misty void. The woman gives a slow nod of her head, the rope creaking as she does so, and she smiles at you.
Have you come here for me, dear? Or have you gotten lost? Ah, it is both, I think. Yes? No, I think not. A pity that. It would be simpler. A mercy, even. To not have to wander anymore, no? Alas,
This is pretty crazy.
Here, you and I, wherever here may be.
This reminds me of Baldur's Gate 2, when you had a lot of... You ended up being like the son of... like you were basically like a demigod. You were like a half-god. But you didn't know it at first. This is kind of the same way where we've obviously obtained some sort of crazy power. Looking forward to it. How are you able to speak to me?
Is that what we're doing? Perhaps it just seems that way. Perhaps it is the easiest way for your mind to make sense of it. I think it is a very good choice. The world looks a little different than it used to, is that it? Feels like you're noticing things for the first time that have always been there.
By the way, guys, while you're watching this, let me know if you want to hear them talking. If you just want me to be like, no, just skip through it and go, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that, because I do read it a lot faster than they speak it, but I thought you guys might enjoy the voice acting.
You have seen past the shroud. It only takes an instant. Your soul remembers, yes? Remembers how it sees when it leaves the body, like being reminded of a dream you
watcher.
had forgotten. You are a watcher now, and a watcher you will stay. What indeed? Long hours have many animancers spent studying such
Animancer,
things.
is that like a necromancer? I'm
Not I.
curious.
Not I. I'll tell you what I know, though, since fair is fair. And here we are, visiting, you and I, and it reminds me of better times.
That's creepy, but okay.
Souls pass on. Some say through Audra stones, which are the blood veins of the world. They leave the world for a time and are reborn into it, sometimes more than they were before, but usually less and seldom the same. For all souls there is a time where they do not live, yet have not passed on. And those souls roam the world, same as you or I, either living or lost. But no one sees them because they have forgotten how.
Well, I remembered how.
A watcher sees, though, knows what to look for. And sometimes they know a person just by looking at them. Know where they've been.
So those people that I think are Kickstarter people.
Other bodies. See memories even their owner can't recall. A wonder to behold when all
Are like
goes
past
well.
lives
A
of those
wonder.
people. Very cool. Excuse me. Very cool.
Oh, nothing to be afraid of, I'm sure. It's just much to take in for some. Sometimes there's trouble sleeping or other difficulties.
She smells you reassuringly, fanning out a tuft of long whiskers that sprouts from one of her cheeks. Like these kind of whiskers? But just on one cheek? Weird dwarves.
You should see old Merwald. He could tell you much more than I. A watcher just like you. Helped many in his day. Took
Cade
up with
Nua,
an old
beyond the
keep
Black Meadow.
No one would claim.
Okay.
Not far. Kanua, beyond the Black Meadow. He will welcome the company.
I think I survived Buyak. Do you know why that would be?
Did you now, dear? My, that would be something, wouldn't it? Could be luck, could certainly be. A storm can be a careless thing. Or maybe it got its hands around your soul but couldn't pick it up. A soul can be heavy if it stayed in one piece through its time. Strong souls, we call them in the trade. Cold, I mean. Called them. Those days are all behind me, no?
You said souls break apart over time?
Oh, yes. Entropy. Rimagan's work. We know little of why or how. We lose pieces of ourselves when we die and pick up pieces of others when we are born again. But less than what we lost. We tried to stop it with the animantic sciences, but with little success.
Interesting.
A very small few resist Rimergan's influence and stay together through some force of defiance, at least for a time. But they all
So we got a
settle
cool soul.
eventually, I
That's
think.
awesome. I don't know. I'm a sucker for like the you're a badass, even though it's so cliche. I want to know something about you.
Me? I'll bore you to tears.
This is a
though.
talky episode, guys. Sorry about that. Who are you?
And here I thought you'd come to visit me in particular. Caldara de Baranzi, of the Valian Royal Academy of Animantic Sciences. Not the greatest of their number, but I came here all the same because this was where help was needed.
Where help was needed, eh? She laughs, a rasping, choked cackle escaping between rows of buttery yellow teeth, causing her body to bob up and down with each spasm. Seeing her blank expression, she catches herself.
Oh, come now. Such a question. As though the answer were plain as a rope tied for strangling. Allow an old dwarf her last bit of cheer.
Voice acting's really good.
Well, I came where I was needed, didn't I? Offered my services to Lord Radric for a pittance. A humble pittance. I was to examine the Lord's wife. See why the gods have seen fit to poison her womb. Studied her for months. Looked high and low for impurities. Tested her valence, the permeability of her essence. Do you know what I found?
Probably nothing, right?
Nothing at all. A healthy woman, head to toe, blessed with a beautiful soul. Such a sweet woman, too. Meek, but warm-hearted. A few months' time, and the lord of the house demanded answers. For a time, I told him what he wanted to hear. Oh, yes, my lord. She is riddled with imbalances. I must have time to cure her. As the birth drew near, he grew impatient, as lords do. And this is where I...
Well, yeah, I saw that one coming a mile away. You don't just, like... Well, if you're gonna lie to him to give yourself time, get the fuck out of there. That's what you need to do.
A student of
The soul.
Something so basic, yet so poorly understood. But so many breakthroughs have been made in my lifetime. Had been made. Had been made, guys.
To
hear the locals tell it, we're a gang of soul manglers that preys upon the weak mind.
Soul manglers. That'd be a great thing to be. I'm a soul mangler.
But the best of us, the best, inspiration.
Very good atmosphere in this game.
Workers. My parents were soul twins, miserable before they met, empty inside. It was an animancer who helped one find the other, turned their lives around. You wouldn't believe the stories. Amnesiacs helped to remember their lives. The suicidal brought
This sounds like something we need in our world.
Oblivion. The elderly afforded extra moments to
Well,
say their goodbyes.
Fantasy magic is just, really widely accepted most of the time. In the real world, it'd be a crazy thing if you really think about it. Just how quickly it would change absolutely everything.
It's a fascinating science. A fascinating time to be alive in a place like Deerwood that does not control the research, no? I love the Valiant Republics for many things, but their recent caution will leave them behind.
Valiant Republics, that sounds cool. I hope we go there. Well, we've talked her out, so...
Goodbye, my dear. It was lovely visiting.
Wow, that was a good experience. Talking to people is worth it. Okay.
17 and a half. Hi?
Wait.
17 and a half. Well, could be 18, depending on how you count the dwarf woman. The dwarf woman. You were trying to figure out whether to count her as a full person.
I love this guy.
I think you oughta. The people hanging from the tree. 18 of them. Well, last I counted, anyway.
Is that what people do for fun around here?
Name's Adair. So do the people around here. Might as well be 19.
Oh.
I think I'd put you much higher than 22, 23 tops. You look like the sort that likes to get...
I get it. So he's Eder, or 19. He assumes he's going to be the next one on the tree. And then you're 22, 23 tops. So you got a couple people before they put you on the tree.
I was smoking over here, saw you staring at her. Twice I refilled my pipe. Never so much as blinked. Your mouth was so slack I took you for a Radric at first.
Impossible, I don't drool half as much. Do you know what a watcher is?
Careful, friend. Let's not use that word round here. There'll be any number of Radric bootlickers within earshot. Ciphers, animancers, watchers. Same thing in the eyes of folks around here, Radric especially. They come through these parts all the time with their cures, preying on the desperate. None of them are who they
I like
claim to
this
be.
guy. I hope he's recruitable.
Of course, seeing you with that funny look, I'd be halfway inclined to believe you were having some kind of communion with that dwarf. Either case, maybe I'm not 19 after all. No offense.
You think you're supposed to be hanged?
The town's had it in for me for a long time now. Only fella who ever stuck up for me, well, he's number 18 up there. My headman on the farm. Used to be my captain during the war.
Saints War. Only one in my lifetime. Fellow decides he's the living incarnation of Ethos, overthrows Ritsaris marches on Deerwood, so we gave him a Deerwoodian hello. Hello! Man, all these, like, names are like, it's going to take me a while to get the pronunciation. What's a Deerwoodian hello?
We blew him up.
We blew him up. Wow. Who is Uthoas? God of rebirth and redemption, formally anyhow. Maybe they call him something different where you're from. Why was your headman hanged? Got involved. Raedric sent men down here the other day. Said they had it on good authority someone in town was working with Kolsk. Kolsk? Plotting Raedric's overthrow. Said if he didn't come forward right then and there, they'd hang every last one of us. No one was coming forward, so Swithin, that's my headsman, he steps up and says it's him. They took him at his word. Bound to happen sooner or later. If not for plotting against Raedric, then for protecting me. What does your town have against you?
Wrong, God. That's what it comes down to. Used to be a lot of Aethys worshippers in Gilded Vale. That mess of rocks over there, that was a temple to him, to give you some idea.
Interesting.
Then one day, somebody named Widewind shows up on Deerwood's doorstep. Says he's the living flesh of Aethys. Got an army with him. Suddenly, Aethys isn't so popular in these parts. My brother Woden and me, neither of us believed it. No way was that Aethys. He enlisted, and then I did too. But, he didn't make it back.
Aww. I feel bad for this guy already.
After the war,
This is Talkie Talk episode for sure.
Accusing them of treason. Got real ugly, especially after the legacy started. Folks needed someone to blame. I was safe because I fought, but then this rumor starts that my brother, that he was in the wrong side. And I wasn't so safe anymore. Until my headman stepped in and said they'd have to hang him to get to me. Seems that's no longer a concern. Of course, townies don't do the hanging these days, but when Raedric's men come, they got no problem doing the pointing.
You can see why I was eager to leave. Who's Kolsk? Someone who got tired of all the hangings. He's on the run now. Probably will be till they catch him. If you're next to be hanged, what are you still doing here? Drinking, mostly. Point of fact, I'm on my way out. Just haven't figured out where I'm going yet. Not a whole lot of places there that don't think Widewind's legacy started with Waidwin. We could travel together. Some place called Cade Nua. There's an old watcher there who might be able to help me.
Seem to remember hearing something about that years ago. He tamed that place. People would seek him out for all kinds of things.
Troubles of the soul.
Questions for the departed. Of course, that was back when you didn't have to say watcher with a hush on your breath. A man such as that, there'd be things I'd want to ask him. Don't know why I never thought of it before. Not sure how I feel about setting out with a stranger. And a strange one at that. But, truth be told, you might be the only one in town who wouldn't feel some relief.
It's a fantastic game.
Swing from that tree.
The voice, like, I don't know why, but this voice acting's catching me in a way that I haven't seen in a long time. There's a fine reason if I ever heard one.
Alright then. Guess I'll do some sightseeing. As long as you're not the one picking the sights.
Sweet. Let's take a look at this guy.
Hey.
He is a 3rd level fighter. Fantastic. So, defender. Great. Okay. A weapon-focused ruffian. Saber, stiletto, club, pistol, and blunderbuss. Cool. So what kind of items, what is he wearing for weapons right now? A saber and a medium shield and a warbow. Cool. And he's wearing Saint's war armor. Oh, wow. Grant second chance. Don't know what that means, but it's pretty sweet. Cool. Enchanting is, boy. This looks like really fun stuff in here, in this game. Alright. I can only stack 5 of those at once. Cool. So, we have any bigger shield? That's a medium shield. Do we have anything bigger than that under shields? Medium shield round. No. That's okay. We finally have a frontline fighter, though, which is basically what I was looking for. Defender. And knockdown. Cool.
Yeah. Sure.
So what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break, then we're going to explore the rest of this ruins in the next episode, guys. As always, I'm Iron Gone. You guys, take care.